Hey everybody, this is Vivian, and tonight technical difficulties. For some reason, my microphone doesn't work, and but I'm here. So, I'm recording on my iPad. So if my eyes look like they're looking someplace else other than at you, it's because it's yeah. Anyway, we'll we'll get through this. We will. So anyway, we're still reviewing this book, A Year of Positive Thinking, Daily Inspiration, Courage and Wisdom by Cindy Spiegel. And last night we talked about uniqueness, your uniqueness, as a matter of fact, and how the world actually needs your uniqueness, your differences, your weirdness, your quirkiness, whatever it is you want to call it. The world needs you. And so put yourself out there. It's okay. And tonight we're talking about something that's really not that pleasant, but necessary. Because, people tend to, because I spend a lot of time talking about positivity and all of that kind of stuff, people tend to think that, it's wrong if you have any other emotions other than being positive. So I want to kind of talk about that tonight. And the name of the topic is Go Ahead and Grieve. So let me read the anecdote and then we'll get to it. All right. So grieve is whichever way you feel compelled to. There isn't one right way to move through what saddens you. Give yourself the space to feel, be sad, be angry, be heartbroken, cry or don't, but also take deep breaths and remember the love that brought you to your knees, the smiles that broke your heart wide open, and the moments of laughter and joy. Finding the happiness among the grief can make each difficult moment a bit easier to bear. Show yourself more love than you've ever needed to before, and feel what you feel. Yeah, I'm babbling. Yes, because this one's kind of going to be a little difficult to talk about a little bit. So, and people might look at this and go, "Oh, I thought this was the positivity channel." I can't talk. I thought this was a positivity channel. Well, yes, but in being positive, you also have to be realistic, because people are going to grieve. Because we're going to lose people that we love, either through death or through leaving us, leaving our lives in one way or another. So, but it's typically, associated with death or something like that. So, when someone we love or care about passes away. So I know I talk a lot about positivity, but grief is an emotion that, everybody has at one point or another. And you have to remember, because we're human beings, we mourn the loss of other people. And so that's when grief comes into play. And no one, and I do mean no one, gets to tell you how you should grieve. How long to grieve or why you should grieve or anything like that. Grief is personal. It's a personal thing, and everybody doesn't do it the same way. People look at the traditional ways, somebody crying. Well, not everybody cries. Some people get angry. Some people start throwing things. Some people, just are quiet. Then they do nothing. So it depends on who you are as to how you grieve, and you get to have that. There are people who will try to tell you to get over it, and tell you how long you should grieve, and they talk about the different stages of grief, and so what happens at different stages and how you're going to feel or act or whatever. And that's, they do have a valid point in some of that, but you can't determine definitely how somebody's going to grieve. And so you get to handle that however you want. Now, allow yourself to grieve if you need to. Now, my mother passed away a little over 3 years ago. And even today, I still have moments of grief because she was my mom, and she's no longer here. I can't like pick up and go see her, like I used to. I used to go to her house whenever she was well enough, and I used to go to her house and just lay on her lap and let her rub my head because it was mommy, But the last few years of her life, she was in a nursing home and she couldn't do anything for herself. And but I would still go and just sit with her, and sometimes I would still lay on her lap, and she would try to. She was still. I guess it was just a memory. She was still trying to rub my head, but it was my mom, and so there are days when I think of her. And I get sad because she's not here, but then I also smile because I know the wonderful person that she was. And, I laugh at some of the stuff that she used to say and do and all that. And, those are the types of things that help me get through it. Now, some people will tell me sometimes, and I have been told this, you're a grown woman. Your mother's been dead over 3 years. You need to get over it. And yes, there are people that are insensitive that way. I would never tell somebody to get over their grief, because you don't get to pick the amount of time somebody's grieving. That's not your business. It's not my business. I'm not going to tell you if you lost somebody or a pet or a person that, oh, you should get over it. I can't tell you that. It's not my emotion. It's not how I didn't, that wasn't the person that I loved that left or died or whatever. It was yours. So you get to decide how long, what type of grief you have, whatever. The only problem that I saw about the people that were telling me to get over it are the people who still had their parents. And that's pretty bad when you're going to tell somebody to get over something and you haven't experienced that. It's horrendous for somebody to do that. So take the time to back up, regroup, think about what you're going to say to somebody who's grieving, because sometimes what comes out of your mouth could sound insensitive. And like I said, one of the techniques that I use to help me to move forward is to just smile about something my mom said or did or whatever when she was here. And so it's more of the love that I had for her, or that I have for her, instead of the grief and of the loss of her. So it doesn't, and when you smile or anything, it doesn't mean that you're not grieving. It just means that you're remembering all those wonderful things, all those good times that you had with that person. Allow yourself, as the book says, to feel what you feel, however you feel it, and however you deal with it, whether you laugh, cry, throw things, get angry, whatever, however you deal with your grief, that's how you deal with it. And it just hurts my heart to see people trying to suppress their grief to help, to satisfy somebody else. Let it out. It's not good to keep it in. It's really not good to hold that in. You're not being strong for somebody else. You're actually hurting yourself. And at that point, once you start hurting yourself, your strength for someone else could diminish very quickly. So, just do what you do, whether you cry or not. Some people are like silent. They get so upset they get silent, and that's fine. That's how they grieve. But people are going to judge no matter what you do. There are going to be people out there that judge you no matter what you do. So don't worry about it. That's my advice. Once you have gone through a few years of it, or a few months, or however long it takes you, it'll become less of a oh my God kind of grief to a dull ache. You still miss them, you still want them to be around, but they're gone, but you can move past it a little bit faster. Those moments of extra grief that you might have, you can move past it a little bit faster because now you have some tools in your arsenal, like remembering the good times that you had with them and the kind of person that they were when they were alive. So when you do that, the less time you're going to spend in that subsequent grief. So I hope that you got something out of that, and that was helpful to you. And I really appreciate you guys for sticking here and listening to me, because I ramble. I tend to ramble. But anyway, I want to go with thankfulness, and to say that I am thankful for my children and grandchildren. I am thankful for this website that I was given in one of my coaching sessions today, that I got some really good information from, and yeah, it was eye-opening, big time. It's so much so that it just kind of shook me a little bit. And I'm thankful that I was able to help someone today, get some clarity on some things that they were struggling with, and hopefully, I'll still be able to help them in the future. I'm thankful for my family, my blood family, and my online family. I'm thankful that I decided to spend my time today studying and contemplating and planning. So I felt like I was in control today, that I got a lot of things done. And I'm thankful that I'm learning a little bit more every day that I can share with other people in hopes that I can help them move forward. I'm thankful that I earned $50,000 per day in pure profit from multiple sources on a continuous basis. I am thankful that the world is healed of COVID-19 and healed of hatred. I'm thankful that I received some valuable feedback today to help me with building my business and also my personal development today. And last but certainly not least, I am thankful for you guys sticking with me, and I also apologize for last night. Technical difficulties again, hey. And I uploaded the video, and I thought I uploaded the video, and apparently not so much. And so it didn't really actually become live until after 7:30. So hopefully you forgive me. But anyway, thank you guys very much for being here. Thank you for hanging out, and thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. And I will talk to you tomorrow, but in the meantime, I wish you peace, I wish you love, and I love you guys so much. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.